Boy, oil closing for the day in New York. Each time you wonder, can it get higher? And again in record territory, settling at $108.72 a barrel. That's up 82 cents, David.
Yeah, it is amazing. It's reaching those levels where it really is of some concern to people whose businesses rely on it. I was talking to the head of Skybus, a new low-cost carrier, saying that if it gets much higher, his business is going to be out of business.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Liz Klayman.
And I'm David Asman. Near session highs after the Fed makes $200 billion available in loans to some of those troubled Wall Street banks, even overseas.
That's right. The helicopter run by Ben Bernanke at the controls, just dumping cash all over the markets. The Dow responded very positively to that today, and we have the Dow Jones Industrials up about 265 points, getting closer, believe it or not, back to the highs of the session. But at the moment, the Dow stands above 12,000 at 12,005.
The NASDAQ is also up. All of the indices are up over 2%. The one that is climbing the most, by the way, is the Russell 2000. Small and medium-sized companies that are desperate for cash. Nobody is hit more by the crunch than they are. They are doing it particularly well, 2 3/4% as a whole, up right now.
And gold up $1.60 at the moment to $973.40 a troy ounce for the yellow metal. There it is, up just another fraction today.
So it seems like just about every day oil hits a new record, but how long can it last? At this point, you have analysts out there saying it could gush to $200 a barrel, and others who think it could slide back down to the 90s or even the 80s.
I'd love that.
Yeah.
I'd love 50.
All.
We brought together two of our own Fox panelists with differing views to talk about why they feel the way they do about gold, and oil rather. Eric Bolling thinks we could see a pullback. You'll find out how much in a second. Peter Schiff says the sky is the limit. Eric Bolling, I can't believe it. You think it's going down. How far?
Well, look, I think I agree with Peter. Believe it or not, I don't want to say that too often. I think I've said that twice this year, which is a problem.
You can. No, it's
look,
not.
There's no stopping oil. There's no stopping gold. There's no stopping physical commodities. I mean, these are areas where people want to put money, and they will continue to go. But any good bull market has a pullback. And the thing about this bull market, we've run up 24% this year already. It's just almost parabolic straight up. It needs a correction. And when they asked me, what do you think of oil? I said, well, I think it can trade 85, but I also think it can trade 120 in a short period of time, or 130, maybe even 150. But that's a normal bull market. Let me transfer this one point over to you real quickly. Yesterday, oil was up almost $3 a barrel. Gasoline, Liz, 1 penny higher only. So this is not translating into higher prices at the pump. So don't freak out if you're seeing a higher.
It climbed 6 cents recently.
It climbed 6 cents, but it's not up 120% of it. By the way, we're up 24% in oil. We're maybe a little higher in gasoline on the wholesale level.
Well,
so
Peter,
far,
you would say the focus should not be oil. The focus should be on the dollar and its value.
Well, of course, that's what's driving oil prices. It's a reflection of the value of our money. And when you have Bernanke, rather, doing what he's doing today, he virtually guarantees that oil prices go much higher. But I think where I disagree a little bit with Eric is in the short run, I think that 100 level, which was a triple top, and there was a lot of consolidation there for a few months, I think you built up a lot of people short the market, a lot of stops above 100, and I think there could be a little bit more distance between 100 and where this current rally goes. Maybe we go up to 120 or a little bit higher before we get a big pullback. There's probably going to be a pullback, but you got to buy that pullback.
Could there be a pullback if Bernanke continues to cut rates?
Well, he's doing that.
If you say the phenomena of oil prices so dependent on the value of the dollar.
Well, it's not only the dollar. It's the value of the euro and the yen and all the currencies. The renminbi. Every central bank around the world is creating too much money. They're printing a lot of money. We're the leader of it. We're starting it with the dollar and exporting it around the world. But as long as they're doing that, prices are going to rise.
May I throw a little bit of water on you? I agree with you. A weak dollar is definitely bullish to commodities, or anything traded in the dollar goes up when the weak dollar goes down. But Peter, the dollar is down 12% in 1 year's time. Explain how you can account for a 120% rise in the price of oil.
That's what I'm trying to say.
With a 12% decline in the dollar. Yes, it adds to it, but this is money flow. This is just money looking for a home. When the housing market is weak, when the equity markets aren't where you want your money as an investor, as a big money manager or mutual fund, you go
Right.
towards the hot commodity.
Let me answer,
oil
let
and
me
gold
answer
have been
your
hot
question.
commodities.
Because what's happening is central banks all around the world are looking at the dollar weakness and trying to manage their own currencies. They're trying to prevent their own currencies from rising too rapidly against the dollar. So they're inflating too. Everybody's money
But let's
supply
get
not
that.
China,
Excuse
though.
me.
No,
Let's get
not
it.
China.
Excuse
Of course
me, guys.
China.
Guys, let's get it back to oil because
This
we
is
want
oil.
I understand that, but you've got to talk to the viewer out there who sees that it's $108, is thinking, number one, how can I ever afford to fill my tank in the future? Number two, is this the investment to get in on right now? Will it go higher?
Well, sure. Look, the dollar is going to lose value, so everything is going to go up relative to dollars. I mean, even stocks are going up, but they're not going up as fast as commodities, as gold, as oil, as foreign currency. So what Americans need to understand is their purchasing power is being stolen from them by the Federal Reserve. They need to take actions. They need to protect themselves. If they want to be able to afford oil and afford food, they better get rid of their dollar savings. They better reallocate their investments and get their money abroad. Get into these commodities. Get into foreign assets.
Great idea. Too late, though, Peter. These are money flows. I keep talking about it. You're going to see situations where when the dollar finds a low, and it will. I mean, it almost feels like it's getting there right now, at least short term. That money is going to flow out of commodities. It's called, that carry trade, that reverse carry trade. It's going to flow out of commodities and back into the things that really where they.
By the way, a
homes.
very important speech by the president this week here in New York, where he is being pressured to come to the support of the dollar to encourage foreign currencies to get involved in the dollar, drive up its value. Do you think it'll work?
There's a lot of people that are calling for a strong dollar, but what is it going to take? It's going to take higher interest rates, a reduction in money
The
supply.
Treasury can't do anything on its own
It
without
can't
the
buy
Fed.
back.
It has
buy back
before.
dollars.
It has
What are they going to
before.
talk?
No, they can talk the ECB. They can.
Bob Rubin would disagree with you.
But
The cooperation with the ECB to lower
Exactly.
rates.
No,
All of a
they're not
sudden,
going to do that.
if the ECB rates
Look
come
what they
down,
said today.
Then there's not so much a safe haven of borrowing
These
here.
are
and
not
loaning
gonna
there.
There is a way to prop up the dollar, and that is to buy dollars and make them rarer on the market.
But with what?
And
The
sell.
Treasury doesn't have anything to buy them with.
Foreign banks do. Foreign
but the
central banks do, and we have in the past pressured them to buy up
What do you
dollars.
think China's doing now in Saudi Arabia? That's why they have these inflation problems.
Well,
And
there are
the ECB
European
is not gonna do
countries
it.
that have been encouraged to do so.
But they're
So
not
far,
going
have
to.
not.
But they won't.
And the question is whether they will.
Maybe today, with what they talked about this morning, that stimulus package or the injection of liquidity by the Fed in cooperation with the ECB. Maybe that's opening the
Well,
gate.
I don't know what it's going to take for people at the Fed or the Treasury Secretary to understand that a dollar this week isn't necessarily a great thing for the United States.
No, it's never been a good thing. But why would the ECB, if they're fighting inflation, right? They've got an inflation problem. Why are they going to add fuel to the fire? Why are they going to deliberately base the euro
and
create more
if
inflation?
they don't, they risk the global economy slowing
No,
down.
they don't.
Oh, sure they do.
No,
Oh,
they
sure
risk
do.
our economy slowing down. The rest of the world can do just
But if we
fine.
stop-
Guys, hold on a second.
Gentlemen, come back. We like the discussion. We were getting some.